Hello everyone, and welcome to my BMB24 official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooke and Ridge must be broken up by Steffi. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi Forrester frequently interferes with her parents' relationships. Taylor Hayes' daughter will become involved when she learns that her mother has a new boyfriend in her life. Steffi should probably simply concentrate on her own marriage given her relationship history. That won't be the case though. Taylor and Deacon's chemistry is evident, and they will continue to sneak in time together next week. It won't be long until Steffi Forrester recognizes that she has a new boyfriend in her life, because she spends so much time with her mother. However, Deacon Sharp wasn't always a respectable businessman and restaurateur, and the Forrester family isn't particularly fond of him. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Steffi will be horrified to learn that Hope Logan's father is the man making her mother smile. Although there is currently a truce between Steffi and Hope, she is adamantly opposed to become the sister of her enemy. Additionally, Steffi is aware of Sheila Carter's nature, and a relationship with Deacon will undoubtedly endanger her mother. Steffi Forrester will stop at nothing to save her mother from having an affair with Deacon. BMB spoilers indicate that Queen Steffi will likely determine that reuniting Taylor's parents is the best way to pull her away from Deacon. The only issue is that she must first separate Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester. Do you believe Steffi will ruin her mother's recent romance? To get Taylor away from Deacon, will she attempt to reconnect her parents? How about Brooke? The vibrant and gorgeous December 8th, Monday recap. Steffi discovers Granddad's drawings after Eric surrenders to Ridge. By Heather Hughes on Remarks. Comment on the following topics: television, spoilers, soap operas, recaps, and The Bold and the Beautiful 8. The vibrant and gorgeous recap of Monday, December 8th. Steffi discovers Granddad's sketch, Eric surrenders to Ridge. According to The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Monday, December 8th, Steffi Forrester Finnegan discovered her grandfather's drawings, while Eric Forrester turned himself into Ridge Forrester. He hadn't mentioned retiring, Eric pointed out in the Forrester CEO's office. Ridge claimed that Eric said his last line and pretended that this was for the best, but Eric refused to accept it. Following Steffi, Carter Walton and Daphne Rose's departure from the room, Daphne accompanied Carter to the design office where she spoke up for Eric. John Finnegan, who had been on a work call, also ended up in the showroom with Steffi and received updates. Steffi was astounded to discover Eric's sketches, which were still on the table. Finn and Steffi came to the conclusion that Eric might have been getting ready to give Ridge a presentation about a different collection. Finn thought it was a good decision to go for his health's sake, even if he understood Eric's perspective on Monday's episode. Back in the CEO office, Eric and Donna Logan Forrester, who backed her husband, argued with Ridge and Brooke Logan Forrester. But in the end, Ridge delivered a moving speech in which he expressed his desire to keep Eric out of the hospital. Ridge emphasized his affection for Eric, since he didn't want to lose his father. Finally, Eric reassured his kid that he loved him too and stated they would do it Ridge's way. Nevertheless, Eric continued to be angry with Donna in the showroom thereafter. Eric didn't want anyone to see the designs he had worked on, nor did he want Donna to suggest that she speak with Brooke. Eric had a quiet moment by himself, staring at the Forrester sign in the showroom, and turning out the lights while Brooke comforted Ridge somewhere else. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, if Ridge learns about those designs, Eric might still have a chance at Forrester. Keep an eye out to see if that could affect his choice. For more amazing Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news, and updates, visit CDL often. The reasons behind Ridge's worries regarding Eric's health on Bold and the Beautiful. Eric had a health setback about 2 years ago that almost killed him. He experienced a near-death experience due to a serious illness. But in the end, Finn saved Eric's life. Concerns were raised at the moment when Donna disclosed his unexplained ailment. He was advised by his family to stop working as a designer for Forrester Creations. However, Eric was interested in designing, particularly with his grandson RJ. Making the most of his final moments was his goal. Eric found it challenging to sketch at the time due to his hand tremors. Because he was afraid of retiring, he first concealed his hand tremors and bloody cough from his family, particularly Ridge, Torsten K. Eric needed to demonstrate his worth. With his grandson's assistance, he consented to write one last phrase for his farewell performance. Ridge prevailed in a fashion showdown with Eric. But when Ridge found out about Eric's health issues, he gave him the highest honor. This plotline explored Eric's health issues as he battled death and his health problems. The revival of the father-son fashion warfare has also been hinted at in The Bold and the Beautiful. Eric's health has improved, Donna informed Ridge and Brooke. However, she is still worried that he would experience a setback. This may suggest that Eric is still recovering. His health could still be in risk from his work. While her husband is still alive, Donna would prefer to take him on a global tour. She is opposed to going back to the ER to see him. Donna didn't want Eric to put in as much overtime as he had in the past, but she did encourage his designs. Eric, meantime, is adamant about returning to his job. His goal is to join the design team. Ridge, however, believes that he ought to have fun. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Deacon too calm for a wild wife? Does Sheila need a bad boy love interest? Comments from Heather Hughes in December. Comment on television spoilers soap opera, The Beautiful and the Bold 11. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Deacon too calm for a wild wife? Does Sheila need a bad boy love interest? According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, we must wonder if Sheila Sharp needs a bad boy love interest. Has Deacon Sharp grown too subdued for his passionate spouse? Deacon used to be quite wild himself, but those days are long gone. Deacon's only priorities these days are his family, and making Il Giardino the most popular restaurant in the area. Sheila says she only wants to live the same straightforward life as Deacon. But is it really sufficient? Fans of B&B are aware of Sheila's wild side, so it's possible that she's been attempting to suppress it for too long. Sheila may sincerely want to think she's changed and that she can be this dull, loving wife, but that's simply not who she is at her heart. Because of the boring marriage she battled to save, Sheila has become a diluted version of herself. Perhaps Sheila would be better off dating a real bad boy rather than attempting to be kind to Deacon and ultimately failing him. Deacon used to be eligible, but he has changed his life so profoundly that he is no longer eligible. It would be entertaining to watch Sheila change things up and fall in love with someone who could accept her dark side. When Sheila and Bill Spencer Don Diamant were coupled, B&B sort of reenacted that tale, but it turned out that Bill was using Sheila as part of a disastrous trap. Sheila might fall in love with someone edgier this time around who isn't attempting to take advantage of her or set her up. It would be intriguing to witness Sheila being cherished by someone who genuinely accepts her cunning side and doesn't consider her mistakes to be errors at all. Do you think taking Sheila in that route would be enjoyable? Should Sheila find a partner who shares her wild side and make some changes to her romantic life? Sheila is most entertaining when she's causing problems, and she appears ready to do so when she probably ruins Hope Logan's, Annika Noel, and Liam Spencer's wedding. That might be the final straw for Deacon and drive him in the direction of Taylor Hayes, causing Sheila to lose control and possibly go a new romantic route. Stay tuned for some surprising Sheila news, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Make CDL your one-stop shop for all the news, updates and hot spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila receives bad news from Deacon. Eric made it apparent that he was tired of being treated like a figurehead, and that he desired a more significant position at Forrester Creations. He truly yearned to get back to the thing that made him who he was, designing haute couture. His criticism of Ridge's latest designs was harsh, and he didn't hold back. Ridge and Brooke bristled, recalling how near their most recent fashion confrontation had been when everyone thought Eric was dying. Eric has taken a back seat at Forrester, while Steffi has taken on greater responsibilities. Even while she is aware that he has earned a slower pace in his life, she takes his lessons with her and misses having him completely committed. Daphne, Muriel Hilaire, and Carter Lawrence St. Victor watched anxiously as Ridge told Eric it was time to retire. The severity of her husband's remarks seemed to surprise even Brooke. Hope and Liam will shortly tie the knot. As the bride's father, Deacon will be present. Sadly, Sheila, his wife, is not permitted to attend the wedding. Pictures from Liam and Hope's wedding. You are aware of the proverb, correct? Try again if you don't succeed the first time. Liam Spencer and Hope Logan, the star-crossed lovers from Bold and Beautiful, are much more than that. For them, it's more like, try again if you don't succeed at first, or if you have sex with an ex due to some mannequin confusion. However, this week, the daring ex-married couples are doing just that. Following Liam's near-death experiences, His fictitious brain tumor was declared incurable, and Luna Nozawa shot him. He and Hope are getting married again at the house of his father, Bill Spencer, and his former and probably future stepmother, Katie Logan. A while back, Annika Noel told Soaps.com that Hope realized how much Liam still meant to her after almost losing him. Until the well is somewhat dry, you cannot determine the value of water. She did apologize for previously taking him for granted at one point. As you can see from the pictures above and the more thorough wedding album below, everyone is having a great time. Sheila Carter, the bride's stepmother, is upset that she was left off the guest list, and is pouting away from the wedding in a way that could be harmful. Taylor Hayes tries to reason with her patient's wife, as this week's teaser video showed. But it's not much more difficult than persuading a rock to be soft or a feather to be powerful. Is Sheila going to ruin the reception? TBD. Everything about Hope's anguished rejection. For those who may recall, Hope was never the Forrester family's favorite, which is likely why Ridge has never come to terms with having her as a stepdaughter. He made several terrible remarks about Hope while Brooke Logan was there, as many people remember. Even worse, Brooke failed to stand up for her own daughter. But it appeared that Hope remained connected to Nick Marone, another significant man in her life. At least according to what many viewers can recall. But why did Ridge reject Hope in such a terrible way? Naturally, B&B fans had a lot to say about the situation on social media. Ridge was always hesitant to raise her and never wanted to acknowledge her, according to some comments. He grew close to her during the revision. Little Hope expressed her inclination toward Nick. Nick just so happened to be around during her toddler years and was dating Brooke, so he had the opportunity to get closer to her than Ridge did, said a different show reviewer. However, he was never cruel until Steffi begged him to let go of Hope. Additionally, this statement was made. Hope was raised by both Ridge and Nick during her childhood. Because Brooke had an affair with Bridget's husband at the time in order to conceive Hope, her conception was the true scandal. On the other hand, fans of B&B will only need to watch every single day to figure out what happens next. The CBS network broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful during the week. Look up the timings in your local listings. Please share your opinions with us in the space provided for comments below.